long as there is someone who needs information and proceeds to search the web, that content that they find can open up the opportunity for business to be conducted between that person and the content provider. You want to be that content provider. Greetings, Anthony Washington here, and the purpose of this video, the purpose of this channel, is to help you maximize your marketing efforts for exponential growth, exponential profits. Competition for attention nowadays is cutthroat. It's bigger than ever. It's more widespread. It's more crowded, and it's mind-blowing how much digital content is produced in a day, in just one day. Something, I believe, last I read, something on the order of 3 million blog posts every day, and 500,000 social media posts a minute. That's mind-blowing. That's staggering. Not to mention that we're still basically in the infancy stages, or at least the toddler stages, but you get my drift, of this phenomenon of information, an influx of information. So with this complete onslaught of content, you can imagine most of it gets lost or ignored. So the point now is to be more strategic about how algorithms work to get relevant information and in front of the eyeballs of those that want to see it. Now, we can't control the dynamic nature of the algorithms. We know that Google, Facebook, all of them change their algorithms and update them constantly. They want to always be optimizing the ratio as far as how much it costs, the price of advertising, the price of visibility and attention, and with their platform, with the market rate, they're always adjusting that, because any inefficiencies doesn't help their bottom line. You can't blame them. They want to be optimizing what people pay for attention. Can't blame them. It's a good business model. But what we can do from our end, especially small business owners who are limited on budget, limited on time and resources, we can amplify the reach of our content by doing some intentional things while we're creating it. Now, oftentimes in digital marketing, you'll hear the word optimization, search engine optimization, or optimization of any kind. I like to think of it and frame it as partnering with the search engines so that they can provide the people with relevant information. Like any partnership, in order for it to be beneficial for all parties, you'll have to do some specific things in a specific way to make it work. You do this by optimizing your keywords and information to match what people are looking for in whatever way they are most comfortable, whatever platform. So that is the written word, that's video, that's images, that's social media, that's audio, and it's voice. Some combination, some variants of any of those. Those are the basics. So what makes content and lots of it so practical and powerful is that it's the evergreen nature of it. I study marketing, the history of marketing, and direct mail pieces, they almost always are going to go in the trash heap to be forgotten until the next campaign. That's just the nature of direct mail. A 1%, 2% success rate or conversion rate is great in a lot of cases. Traditional paid advertising like commercials, they may run for a while, but at a substantial cost associated with it, and they have an expiration date. Unless you're constantly creating new commercials and new designs, those commercials will get played out. Now, the value of content lies in the importance of information. Information has no expiration date. As long as the information is relevant and helpful, it will always be viable. As long as there is someone who needs information and proceeds to search the web, that content that they find can open up the opportunity for business to be conducted between that person and the content provider. You want to be that content provider. Now imagine that you are that content provider, and because of the value information that you've provided, a person is inclined to fill out your order for your contact form, or book an appointment with you, or Otherwise, proceed down your sales intake funnel, whatever that you've created. If you have one, you should have one. Picture this: you wake up to this opportunity in your leads follow-up application, or your email, your CRM. You have an appointment scheduled on your calendar, whatever you use, simply because someone was up at 3:30 a.m. and they found something that you created weeks, months, or even years ago that compelled them to take action, to take the next step, and to make a decision to go further down your pipeline. At the very least, think of your content as a complement to other paid advertising, reinforcement, if you will. Now, I understand that everybody thinks of their business differently, and that's fine. Some people think of their business in terms of just pure numbers. Some people are more focused on intrinsic value. Some people value their social proof. Everybody thinks of their business differently. However, one thing I noticed, and this may come from my real estate background, one thing that I often see small business owners fail to grasp is the concept of ROI, return on investment. ROI at its essence is basically the percentage that your total profit represents from your initial investment. So in equation form, it's profit divided by investment times 100 will give you that percentage. That's very important. That's really the bottom line. That's what the most savvy business people look at the end of the day. At the bottom line is ROI. Now, this initial investment, when you're talking about content, this initial investment may not be money. This initial investment may be the time, may be the energy. We talk about how to manage, analyze, and maximize the ROI on your marketing in other videos. Quite frankly, small business owners have no clue about their marketing analytics. That's not exactly sound, prudent practice, especially when you're paying good money for advertising. So with content marketing, a lot of times the biggest investment will be the time and the energy to produce, which does have a cash value equivalent. Interestingly enough, the more successful entrepreneurs that I meet and observe, they have a general idea of their time value, what their time value is, whether it's $45 an hour or $300 an hour. They know what that value is, more or less. In many cases, outsourcing content creation can be just as pricey as traditional marketing, paid advertising. But the reach, the scale, the compound effect of having multiple hands on deck on the content deck is the most powerful traffic generator imaginable. A simple way for you to make content work for you is, again, have lots of it. Make an attempt to actually give away valuable information, and always be creating. As previously mentioned, the availability of you and your information in every digestible form, every digestible format online is ideal. That's text, audio, video, images, and then the spin-offs from that, the platforms that are associated with that. This is called repurposing. So you have one primary content creation method. For example, you create a video that goes on YouTube, and then you have that YouTube video transcribed into text to publish on the blog. The audio is extracted from that video and formatted for a podcast. A quote from that text goes on an image that is shared on Instagram. A snippet of that video, of the YouTube video, is shared on Instagram. The entire video may be shared on Facebook. You may have key text embedded on that video just for Facebook, because a lot of people scroll down and they're looking at the video but not hearing the audio. So if you have text embedded, that's beneficial. So again, you're repurposing the content down the line is what I call it. Through this process, you may discover a format or a process or a platform for your content that is more comfortable for you to produce and or garners more traffic. What you want to do is double down effort on that and keep investing in it, keep duplicating, keep scaling that system that gained these results. After a while, you'll begin to see the results of what Einstein called the eighth wonder of the world, compound interest. You'll look up and you'll have 500 unique pieces of content on the internets, and that's great. I mentioned voice at the beginning. Voice is something that is very underutilized at this point, but it's on the rise. So you do yourself a favor by getting ahead of the game and optimizing your voice search content. We all know that mobile use is the most common, and people are going to be using their mobile device to be asking who, what, where, when, and how as far as products and services. So build your content around those keywords for those products and services, and keep it in simple terms. You may even include local terms or colloquialisms and phrases that are common to that specific market or that specific industry. It's also important to note that over 60% of active voice users are baby boomers. That's the demographic with the most purchasing power right now, so keep that in mind. That fact alone is reason enough to invest the time in creating content, especially voice. That's all I have for today. Hopefully you found that information valuable. I'll leave any pertinent information and resources below this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. I'd appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one.